In the previous lesson, we left off with what two white substances looked most like the two white substances in the mystery mixture. And what is the possibility that if those two white substances were mixed and then water was added, they would fizz? And so we read about the properties of some of these substances, and we, are coming to some conclusions without experimentation about the identification of the mystery mixture. One thing I want to review is I had you write down the chemical name, the common name, and the chemical formula for all the substances on your chart. And you might have started noticing some patterns. For example, every time you saw the word carbonate, anytime you saw the word carbonate on a label, CO3 was a formula that showed up. Or you might have noticed that anytime you saw the word calcium or the word sodium, these symbols showed up. And this was repeated on many labels. Carbonate, calcium, and sodium are common parts of substances, especially these white substances that I introduced you to. Keep that in mind as we move forward, that some words connect to formulas all the time. And so that if I know the name of a chemical name like sodium or carbonate, I can deduce what the formula will be. So now it's time to test the mixtures. You have all of these white substances, you have a chart about them, their properties. It's time to start taking these and mixing two at a time. And if we put a small amount of each in both, we can then add water and watch for a reaction. We're looking for a similar reaction to the first day of the investigation, a long fizzing, looks like Sprite type reaction. For this experiment, you will need these set of materials. You and your table mate will need a set of vials. Those are the white substances. They shall have all the labels on them. You will need 2 well trays, one for each of you. You will just need 2 safety goggles, one for each of you. They are located in the cabinet on the wall. And a piece of black construction paper is not going to be necessary for us since our tables are black. The whole point of the construction paper was to put the white substances on top so that we can see them more clearly. Next, I'm going to drop in the video of the virtual already taped lab so that you can watch how to mix these 2 videos. After you watch this video, then I would like for you and your table mate to stand up together, go get these substances, and we'll begin conducting our experimentation. If you are an at-home learner today, I will give you a link below this tutorial that lets you virtually conduct the experiment. So either way, you're going to get to conduct this experiment whether in person or online. Since we come to the end of a lesson very quickly when we're having fun, time goes fast. I want to go ahead and talk about what cleanup looks like. The mini spoons, they're green. Please make sure that the mini spoons get put back into each of the vials, and that also you don't use the mini spoon to mix at all. Oops, mix. Do not use the mini spoons to mix the water or the substances together. They need to stay dry. So staying dry is really important for the mini spoons, please. But at the end of class, each of the vials should have the mini spoons returned to the vials. The caps are screwed tight and they're put back in the vial holder. You will have a tray that is full of waste containers. You will go to the sink and clean them out with a wet paper towel, making sure to get all the white substances out. Your fingertips are just the perfect size for scrubbing out each of those wells. Then you will lay the wells out to dry on the mat. At this time, we will also add that you need to wash your hands with soap. Remember to not touch your face or anyone else. Remember to stay 6 feet apart at the sinks, but you're going to wash your hands with soap at the end as an additional cleanup. Once you have cleaned everything out of the wells, you've washed your hands, you'll return the white substances to the table in the materials station, which will be clearly marked in your classroom before exiting the classroom. At this time, it should be the end of the hour. If you're at school, you will wash your table and chair before exiting. Mrs. Mott will provide spray and paper towel. So what do you think? Do you think you've conducted enough experiments, at least 12, to come up with a conclusion? Do you think you know which two substances were the mystery mixture? I don't know. I saw several that fizzed in class, several that looked exactly like the bubbling Sprite that we saw on the first day. I'd like to discuss this further in further lessons, but go ahead and keep your opinion tight in your mind and be ready to defend your answer based on your data inside your notebooks. See you next time.